Everybody, I'm pretty sure we're live. Oh, shit. Not yet. I think I almost ended the broadcast. That would have really sucked. All right, so Monday, let's get right into the market because we're seeing a bounce right now. The Dow is up 700 points. You're wondering what's going to happen the rest of today, and is it going to continue tomorrow, and what about the rest of the week? So I've got a bunch of stuff to share, and hopefully you'll have a little guidance after a few minutes of listening to me. And please, if you have questions about your specific stocks, let me bring them up. Let's look at the chart together and we can analyze it. And I bet you'll come up with a much better feeling about your position, or that you have to exit out of your position. All right, so Monday we saw the bounce. Stocks were so beaten up. It was the first day of the quarter. I told you institutions, banks, hedge funds, same people selling stock on Thursday and Friday were buying those same positions back. So you see more speculative plays. I'll mention a few. Lucid, Rivian. I got caught on the wrong side of Roblox. Coin was booming earlier. I mean, these are all stocks that were beaten up significantly. All right. So right now, my tracker is Apple sitting at 145 in case you want to look at that for the rest of today. I'm still a bear in this market. I'll tell you about my positions in a little bit, but let me tell you why. Okay. CPI is still at 8.3. Fed still has to do their business in raising rates. Now, Wall Street's already talking about that rates should come down in Q4 of next year, of 2023. So they're already saying 12 months out, we see rates coming back down. How the hell do they know that? They don't. They said inflation was coming down and it spiked last month to 8.3%. So Wall Street gets it wrong. The Fed has been slow to maneuver. All right, so let me just say, here's the other thing why people think the Fed might be a little more dovish. Job numbers are coming down, housing numbers coming down. But again, the Fed, every comment I hear them make, they're sticking to their guns. CPI still is at 8.3. Now, there was a mini US dollar rally in the opposite direction. The US dollar went from 110 to 115, making it extremely expensive to invest in our markets. Now it's back down at 111. The 2-year interest rate, right? The 2-year was at 4.31%. Now it's back at 406. Okay, so it's down a whole 25 basis points. The 10-year, which was over 4, is now at 3.60. So again, that's down like 10%. So makes it more attractive to invest in our markets. If there was another reason for the markets to be bullish on Monday and Tuesday, okay, there you have it. You have the first day of Q4, all right? And predominantly, Q4, historically, Q4 has been successful. It's been a green quarter. Understand, we haven't seen 3 down quarters in a row in like 20 years, and we just saw that. We just saw 3 red quarters in a row. So Q3, Q2, Q1, all this year has been shit in the market. And if you're not understanding that, you need to zoom out because it's likely things will get worse. Again, I'm a bear. I'm talking about it. I'm a bear. But never let your emotions dictate the way you're trading. Okay? When you go into a trade, have a strategy. And I spoke about some highlights yesterday. So I'm going to bring up one quick highlight real quick. Whatever you're bidding for, whatever it is, per whatever contract it is, bid 20% less. If you're using a platform like Webull or Robinhood, I'm going to start using this platform, Moomoo, right? But if you're using Webull or Robinhood, underbid by like 20%. Me, I was looking for a contract at $1.28. 20% would have been what, like $1.08, $1.06. I could have got the contract for $1.06. It went down to $95, right? It's probably still there. I'm still a bear in the market. Okay, my latest play, and I'll bring that up right now because I'm sure you guys are interested in what I think is going to go on with the market, and I like to look at graphs. So let me see if I can pull that up. All right, so I brought up the TQQQ. I'm a bear, so I have puts. I believe the TQQQ, or you could just say the market as a whole is going to go down. Okay, let's get back. We'll get back to that in 1 second. I'll just give you my assumption or my prediction. Okay, you had the market up 750 points yesterday. It's probably up about 700 points right now. I'm talking about the Dow. That's 1,450 points. I say on the week, the market will be up 500 points. So at the end of Friday, at the end of trading, we'll be up 500 points. Meaning between right now where the market is, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, right? So you have about 3.25 days left. I believe the Dow will be down 1,000 points. All right, just to recap it real quick. I believe we saw institutional buying yesterday. I believe it was continuation this morning. I believe retail trading got on the bandwagon. I believe some stocks were just going up ridiculously too much. Probably Affirm. I haven't mentioned that one, but that's DraftKings was probably up 8 or 9%. If you look at Carnival, which is just beaten to hell, if that was up like 4 or 5%, that's telling you they're buying every single thing, and that shouldn't be, because the same people that were telling you the market, the SPY was going, or the S&P was going to 4,200, were the same people that just changed their outlook a week ago and told you the S&P is going to finish the year at 3,200, at 3,400. Understand, if we're sitting at SPY 375 right now, 365, 368, whatever we're sitting at on the SPY right now, they're telling you it's going to end the year 10% lower in most cases. So the worst thing to do is to trade with emotion. The worst thing to do is to watch yesterday's movement and today's movement and say, I'm buying calls. I can't wait to jump on. I was watching this dude on Twitter, and he was like, I'm bearish on Roblox, and yes, I'm getting it handed to me right now, okay? But the point was, he was saying he took a long position stock-wise in Roblox at $38.97. And I'm like, shit, that's like right around the high. Why would you be announcing that? I would be embarrassed that I would be buying it so high. If you wanted to buy Roblox, you should have thought of that shit this morning and bought in at $36 or $38 or whatever it is. Now, I happen to think my Roblox puts are $38 puts. I happen to think Roblox is going to $36 at some point this week. So I bought in at $1.28. I should have bought in as low as 95 cents. It's probably like 85 cents now. Point is, if my strategy is correct, and yes, I'm early most times, my options should be worth at least $2. If Roblox goes down to 36 and mine are 38 puts, I get the $2 right there. Okay, plus there should be a little time, 20 cents, 30 cents. So again, it would have been great to get better entry. And if you're watching me, you probably suck at entry too. So again, my example that I'm going to use is the next time you're going to buy any option, I don't give a shit what position it is. The next time you're going to pay $1.80, $180 a contract, instead of putting in $180, just put in $160. Take $20 off, and you're going to be like, holy shit, that dude was right. The dude that I happened to just flicker on YouTube was right, and he saved me $20. Now, there's some of you that buy 20, 30, 40, 100 contracts when you're saving $20 a contract. I get that you're eager to get into that position, but if you're saving $20 a contract, you're buying 100 contracts, that's going to be like $2,000. All right? I know you're taking massive positions. All right, so with that said, we can talk about the market real quick. I have the TQQ. Does anybody have any questions? Let me see if I have any questions up here. You could ask questions about your stocks, options, whatever position you're in right now, why you're bullish, why you're bearish. Other than that, I could talk about a couple of rules real quick, and I mentioned these, and will continue to mention them, okay? One thing I am guilty of, and this is almost like confession, bad entry. And I just mentioned how that's different right now, because if you're bidding $20 under whatever contract you're willing to pay, and I just paid for some TQQQ puts because I want that to go down right now. It's at $22.43. I paid $1.25, and then I sent out the alert and I said, please don't pay more than $1.25. And a lot of you will probably underbid me by 20%. You'd be willing to jump in those at $1.05. Again, they expire on Friday. I'm not suggesting that to anybody. I'm sharing what I do and what smart people would do. Smart people say, okay, I like this guy's trade. Even if you follow people on Twitter, right? There's this dude, Harry Wang, really smart guy. He's always calling change in direction in the market. He's great, but he's early just like me. So sometimes when I see his play, I'll be like, I'm going to save 20% on Harry, right? Save 20% on Matt. If you see someone in our Discord put a position, let's say Romeo did, and Romeo's on fire lately, but you're like, I want to get in 5% better than Romeo. Romeo pays $1.34. What do? You put in for $1.28. There's 5% right there. Now here's the catch. If you get it, you just made 5% more than he's going to make and everybody else, okay? On the way out, when he exits, same as me, there's always more room to be made. So nibble that way as well. You're going to sell an option. You're like, I've had enough. I got a stressful day. I'm going to pick up my kids, whatever it is. And you put in your contract, I'm going to sell it for $2.78. And right now it's sitting at $2.16. So it's 30% away. Instead of $2.78, say to yourself, if it gets to $2.78, I bet it gets to $2.88. That extra $10 is an extra 9%. So you're taking 9% on the way out, 5% on the way in. That's nibble. Why do we know this is going to work? Because nobody's perfect. My entry sucks. Sometimes I'm down 22%, sometimes I'm down 12%. Now that I know Webull and Robinhood pay for order entry flow, I'm just going to start underbidding my bids, and I'm going to suggest you guys do the same. So yeah, why is the market running? So let's see where the market is right now, and then I'll give you my just pre-market. I said we could possibly see 378 on the SPY, and we nearly did. Okay, so the market's running real quick. I'll do it again because it was the first day of the quarter last year. Stocks were so beaten up. Next, people think the Fed is more dovish, meaning more relaxed, and might not raise rates as much as people thought they were going to raise rates. They're wrong. The Fed is still hawkish. Yesterday was the first day. Institutions, hedge funds had to buy in, or have to because they have money on the side. Their thought process is, I'm going to buy in October 1st. I think by December 31st, my stock is going to be up. Whether it's Lucid, Roadblocks, whatever, Affirm. I mean, these are stocks that were pretty beaten up. You have stocks like NEO. What was NEO? Like $15.20 yesterday. Now it's $16.70 today. Does it mean to go that? I mean, there are just so many things. I almost bought some NEO calls. That's why I'm mentioning that. But yes, so you either have three strategies. You're either a bull, and I mentioned this pre-market. If you were a bull pre-market, I said you're going to buy calls that open, and you're going to ride them up until 378 on the SPY. The calls I mentioned was $377 calls expiring tomorrow. Those went for as low as like 60 cents. When I bought only two, I'm not bragging. When I bought two, I bought them for 88 and 90 cents. I was chasing on the way up. I sold them for $2.57. All right, or $2.57. Right. So it's not a killing, but it's one assumption. I had another assumption that the market could fake you out based on what we saw yesterday. However, volume was so good yesterday, and big money doesn't like tease you. We won the strongest day. We had the third strongest day in like 40 years yesterday. So for those people that thought the market was just going to reverse today and drop out of the sky, I mean, you got to think big money was going in yesterday. It was the first day of the quarter. That's what we saw, the third strongest day in like 30 years. However, I'm saying by the end of the week, shit's going to balance out a little. Meaning Monday we're up, 750. Today again we're probably up 700 right now. I haven't checked the Dow lately. I'm just following TQQQ because that was my latest position. I got in about 20 cents early. What can I do? My option's probably off like 6 or 8%. Oh yeah, let's talk about what happened to Twitter. So here's another thing why I think the markets could go down, because people are going to look at valuations. First off, Elon is locked out of selling his stock in Twitter for another quarter. So he cannot sell, I believe, until either late December or early January. But I saw people were buying put options on Twitter because Elon subsequently has to come up with another like $2 to $5 billion of his own funding. He has funding from Morgan Stanley. But yes, that Twitter deal is going through. I'm assuming Twitter is going to be $54.20 unless there's some shenanigans. But the deal should close pretty quickly, probably within a couple of weeks. So yes, if someone was going to give me Twitter, and it's risk versus reward because the deal could always be canceled. If someone was going to give me Twitter at like $47.20, I would get in because I can make probably 20%. I necessarily wouldn't be in options. Why? Because I'm a bear. I'm a bear. If I say tech is going down and I want tech to go down, well, shit, more than likely Twitter has to go down with it. So I'm a bear. I can bring up the chart again. So I'll just show you guys what I look at when I bring up a chart. Those here. Okay, so I'm going to bring up the TQQQ. Why? Because that's the tech times 3. It's the QQQ times 3. So first off, I would start and I would look at the 30-minute. Okay. And this brings me to a quick point. So I'm sorry for interrupting myself. But here's the thing. I mentioned this morning to Discord, we could gap up and fill the gap to 378. So for those of you who didn't hear me or don't know why I'm a bear, I'm saying when we gapped up this morning, which is how we closed yesterday and where we opened this morning, we totally left a gap. Gaps get filled. So the same way I said we were going up to 378 to fill that gap, and we went up to 378, there's more than likely by the end of the week, we're going to see 370. I'm going to go on the limb here and say 370. Normally, I'd say 372 because 372 is your next major support. So if we're at 378, You have to see 375. Okay, you get breakthrough 375. It was there this morning. Nothing special. 372 is the major support. But again, I say there's a gap to fill. So realize what we did on yesterday into this morning. We gapped up. What was the SPY? 368, 369, and then we opened at 371 or 372. So that's a gap of 3 points. So gaps get filled. If gaps get filled. So again, if I was an institution and I worked for an institution for about 6 years, I went from like 5 different companies, 3 different hedge funds, 2 different smaller institutional banks, and the JP Morgan Chase that we all go through. But the point is, I would see something. We would have to take profit. If I got into something on Monday morning, keep in mind my fund is beaten up. I probably lost 16 to 18% last month, right? Because that's what the market did. It shit on itself in September. So if my fund is down, what am I going to do? I want to earn 20%, 25%. So I'm not going to just buy and hold. I'm going to buy. I'm going to sell. I'm going to look for the market to come back down. I'm going to buy the same freaking positions I was in. So whatever you're seeing exploding today, put it on your watch list. I wouldn't buy into it today because I think the markets are going lower. But you could put it on your watch list and be like, there was a ton of interest in Pinterest at $23.98. So when it gets to $23.98 or even less, try and get 5% discount, you can go in there. I mean, if you think you're done seeing Carnival at its low and you're like, Carnival's never going to go down again, you're probably incorrect. I know Carnival's over $7, but yeah, I think it's going to have a 6 in front of it at some point. And I liked Carnival. I can't believe it's as beaten up as it is. So yeah, money for nothing. You're totally not late. Yeah, so I was bringing up the chart. I was going to show everybody instead of my beak. Now, again, I'm watching TQQQ because TQQQ is tech to me. So I go to the 30-minute, which gives me about 3 or 4 days on here. So we're looking back. Again, it tends to fade in the afternoon, spike in the morning, fade, spike, fade, have a good little run. Then it faded again the next morning. Again, so we spiked. There's a gap to fill right here, okay? We spiked down, so there was a gap to fill on the way up. We filled the gap. But understand there's still a gap to fill. And if we are in a bear market, okay, it's more than likely we're going to fill gaps to the downside rather than gaps to the upside so quickly. This last gap to the upside, I predicted it a week ago Monday, and I was like, don't be surprised if the markets are bullish today and tomorrow. I was a week early. So that doesn't surprise anybody. I'm always freaking early. If I take a position, best thing to do is watch it, wait for me to go down 20, 25%. And then load up on that position. Again, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not really kidding, but I am kidding. So if you guys have more questions about the market, if not, let's talk about what to expect. I could bring up the SPY, for instance. I'll bring up the SPY right now, and it's hovering around 376.36, okay? So the next way up on the SPY is 378. If you see a strong finish today, you'll see the SPY flickering around the day high, and if it breaks 378, know that it will likely be at 381 tomorrow. So if anybody's in a position and you're in SPY calls and they go out 3 days or 5 days or a week, you could say, okay, the next point of resistance, if it breaks 378, will be 381. On the reverse side, you say to yourself, okay, we're sitting at 376.32. We haven't broke 377 in a couple hours. Last we were at 374, and we bounced off that pretty hard. So we're at 376.33. So you say, okay, next way down is 375. If we break that, okay, it's likely that we'll see 372. And I mentioned that earlier. So again, that is why I'm still a bull. I was a short-term bear. You heard me speaking about it for 3 days. My best play was energy. And what did I do? I sold energy yesterday, my XLE call options, for $75.56. That was the price. And I think they're like $78 right now. Let's just see where XLE is. $79. Oh my God. $79. And they were in the money. So I would have got immediate returns on that. So again, my biggest play that I'm in right now are the TQQQs. I'm in puts. TQQQs at $22.40 as I speak, and it's up 8.42%. Yes, 8.42%, which means the QQQ is probably up 2.8%, which means the SPY is up 2.1%. So I'm not saying the markets can't be up. I'm just saying it's a little bit too fast, a little bit too strong. And I'm looking at the stocks. These are the same stocks that people could not wait to get out of. Let's talk about AMD. Okay, AMD, people are like, I'm not buying that piece of shit stock until $60. These are institutional people that I'm talking about. So they're saying, I'm not buying that piece of shit stock until $60. What do? They bought in the market yesterday for 63 and change. It went up to 66. I think it was up to 68 today. So if I'm in their position, bought in at 62, I'm at 68. I just made 10%. And we're talking about a few 100,000 shares. What are they going to do? They're going to sell, and they're most likely going to sell on the dark pool so that nobody knows about it. So how do they sell in the dark pool? They put it out there. Hey, we have AMD. We're looking to sell at $68. We have 100,000 shares. And some other institution says, great, we're looking to get into AMD. We don't want to buy on the open market because it'll push the price up. So we could buy 100,000 shares at this price, okay? They're getting what they want. The other institution's getting what they want. Me, I would be saying if I'm in at 62, I'm getting out at 68 because, again, I've heard some rumors. People are looking to load up at $60 or sub 60. Well, if AMD goes sub 60, then the market's obviously going to go lower than where we are today. Then you look at longer term positions, people that bought out SPY puts, 14 million, 10 million, and you can find all this on Discord. Let me see if I can remove this and actually show you guys what I'm doing. So you'll do it with me. Let me find Discord, and here it is. And I'll show you the searches I do, because these are the same searches that Big Money does or that you should do. So I pulled up Discord, and we can see, we'll look at flows and algos. So you want to type in, you just want to see where the market is, okay? So let's type in where the market is. We'll say the net flow of the market. And we'll hit return and see what comes up here. All right, so here's the market net flow. I'm going to blow it up nice and big. I'm going to bring it back on the screen so that I can tell you what I'm seeing. Hopefully you guys can see that well enough, okay? So the white line, which is the top line, okay, is telling you the price of the market. So it's basically showing the price of the SPY. You can see what happened. It spiked in the morning. It spiked a little later. We had that nice afternoon drop off around 12:45 where it sold for about 30 minutes. And now it's back at this level, which is like an intermediate level, okay? The next line is the green line. So they're telling you these are the premiums for the call options, okay? As you can see, premiums for the call options are much higher than premiums for the put options. In fact, you can see the premiums for the put options keep going down, which tell me, according to my position, shoot, the market could technically be stronger than where I am now. Again, I'm holding TQQQ puts. I think TQQ is going down. It's right now at 22.38, 22.40. But the market projections, the algo and the flows, now it's at 22.42, are telling me it's going to go higher. So I might actually go and exit out of my position. Again, I would feel like a terrible person tomorrow when I'm correct about it. So I'm not actually going to exit out. But let's bring this to the live stream again, and let's do another search on the market. So if you guys had a specific position, let's see. We can't really do Twitter because Twitter already took off. But let's see what people are doing about Tesla right now, because that definitely interests me. I mean, I would be selling Tesla. I wouldn't be buying Tesla calls. So we're looking at big flows. Big flow tells you the 10 largest positions that have been taken in Tesla options. And sometimes it's a little slow. Let's just see if it's coming up. Go back over there. Oh, there it is. Okay, so let's enlarge it. Boom. All right, so make sure it's on the screen. Let's get rid of me. Okay, so now you can see it. So you've got the 10 largest positions from Tesla. Let's look at the afternoon. There was one buy here where they paid $2.47 million. Here's a buy here before noon, okay, before the announcement. Since then, we've got sell, 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 and there's about 14 million. Okay, anyway, so that's what we're looking at there. But we could do anything else as far as if there were other stocks. Let's see. Okay, so I'm in TQQ, but I have a bearish position. So let's see what the market says about that. TQQ. Let's look at the net flow of the TQQ. All right, let's hope this works. Sometimes it tells me it's not a large enough position. Okay, so here we go. We'll enlarge it, tell you what I see right here. Okay, perfect. You guys can see it as well. So right now, the green are the premiums for the calls. As you can see, they're coming down. So now you have to pay less for the calls, meaning there's less of demand for the calls. Okay, that makes me happy. However, the premiums for the puts are still pretty low. I would expect the premiums for the puts to go up and come closer to the price, or the price to come down closer to the premium for the puts. So with that said, right now, I would say my position is probably 50-50. So again, if you're not in a position right now, I wouldn't get into a position. I wouldn't say, yes, the market's going to finish bullish, or yes, it's going to finish bearish, unless you're going to be 100% sure. Because again, I can see both scenarios playing out. Me, I've already got the position, so I'm going to stick with them. I'm going to hold them overnight. Because again, my strategy is every time I sell, everything I buy goes profitable. It's just sometimes I sell because I'm like, I give up. I'll take the loss. Maybe I was wrong about something. So let me see. Do you guys have any more messages? Oh, good. My ex-wife is just riding the shit out of me right now. Excellent. That's a very good day. I get to take the dog to the groomer tomorrow morning. I volunteered for that. Okay. So watch list ETFs. Okay, I'll remember that. Same. You sold CVX yesterday. I have November SPY puts. You're down 3%. Yes, you have plenty of time. So the person that's investing with November SPY puts, I couldn't be happier for you. Why? Not that you're not correct today or yesterday and you think you probably could have done better. The point is your November puts, let's even say it's the first week in November. The market tends to go down leading up into the elections. The market tends to go up after the midterm elections. That's what history tells you. It's every 2 and 4 years, it'll tell you the same result. With that said, again, the market's been on fire. Yesterday it was up 750 points. Let's just see where the Dow is up right now, and then we'll give you a prediction. 703 points. Okay, so yeah, prediction is if the markets are going to fall tomorrow, they're going to close, the Dow's going to close up under 600 points. So right now the Dow is up 705 points, 6 points, 706 points. So how will you know about tomorrow? Okay, all I can tell you is if you're looking for a red day in the market tomorrow, you want to see the Dow close under, okay, up under 596 points, okay? And I'll tell you, tech will run concurrent with the Dow. So let me just go and find tech. Again, I'll tell you my Apple story in 1 second. Tech is sitting up 321 points right now. That's got to be like 3%, right? Yeah, it's got to be 322 points right now. Okay, so in order for tech to be red tomorrow, the magic number is 244. If tech, okay, if the NASDAQ is up today, okay, it could go all the way back to 100, then back to 244. I don't care. If it ends the day at 244 or under as far as being up, and again, the Dow, 596 points or under, and I don't care how we get there. I don't care if we spike to 1,000 and come right back to that number. I don't care if we drop to 0 and then end at plus 596. I'm telling you my prediction for tomorrow, okay? And this is what I do. I look at charts and I can see if we fall beyond the line, below a certain line. And again, I just see this shit. And that's what I'm sharing with you. So I'm just sharing it with you right now. It's a very general chart. But again, Dow, NASDAQ, under 244 points a day, and that's 80 points lower. So anybody can say, yeah, 80 points lower. Yeah, we're definitely, I can tell you we're going red tomorrow. No, it could be consolidation. I mean, the markets need to consolidate. When the markets rip up 700 points in 2 days, and some of your stocks that you watch are up 12, shit, some stocks are up like 15% today. Like Lucid was up like 13% today. So again, they need to consolidate, meaning people are going to sell also. End of year. So now people are saying, am I going to get more for this stock or should I take the loss? I need a loss to offset my balance sheet, blah, 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 blah. So again, another reason I could be somewhat bearish on the market. Bullish run, if we would have seen it, we wouldn't have stopped at 378. We went all the way up to 381 before we saw some resistance. So again, that is why I'm a bear. I don't mind saying I'm a bear. If you look in a day and I'm wrong about the market, I'm sure people will call me clowns. However, if I'm correct, and right now I can see the TQQQ. Again, it was just $22.44. Now it's down 10 cents at $22.34. Good direction for me. It's up 8% on the day. Well, shit, if it goes up only 6% on the day, that means it'll end the day at $21.96. I'll be very much in the money. So it's not about buying a certain option. You're like, it's up 8%. How is this dude making money? It's about your entry point. When you say, okay, this is the top. It rejected here 3 times. Vice versa. If you're a bull in this market, which I am not, and you saw the SPY drop to, what was it, 274.10, right? And then it bounced pretty hard. You could be like, I'm bullish. In fact, pre-market this morning, the bull case scenarios were going to 278 on the SPY. those SPY calls, which I got in at 88 and 90 cents. I sold at $250. So I was up 200% on those. Again, they weren't my play of the day because I was like, okay, these are going to go up. I'm still in some Roblox puts. I'm looking to buy some more Roblox puts. Coin was off the hook. I was looking at Coin the other day at $64. Then I said, I can't wait to buy some puts on Coin. And I went to 66. And I said, no, not yet, not yet. Then it was like 68, 70, $73.40 this morning. And I still chickened out and buying Coin puts. Because if I was wrong, Coin could have went to 79. But I bet you Coin's at like 70 now. Okay, yeah, so again, here's what you're looking for. NASDAQ 244 or under will be a red day tomorrow. The Dow is up 664 points right now. If it goes up only 596 or under, red day tomorrow. If you want to hear more, you got to join the Discord. I'll probably drop another video towards the end of the day to let you guys know what I'm thinking about tomorrow. But join me at 2 p.m. Please, more questions. And we'll get to questions, please. More questions tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Appreciate it.